This is Ymir's Shadow, the mountain I climbed in my first Peaks of Yore video, standing at an impressive 500 meters, half a kilometer tall. When I beat it, I unlocked the actual two last mountains. In the game world, these two mountains are unconquered, so it's up to me to be the first. My plan was to make a video climbing the two of them, because so far the game had a really smooth learning curve, and I expected that after the 500 meter Ymir's Shadow, the next two would be something like 1 kilometer, then 1.5 or 2. A longer climb, but manageable given how much I'd improved. That is not at all how it works. The Great Bullwark is 2,200 meters, about 4 times the height and towering over Ymir's Shadow, while introducing an entirely new mechanic in the ice pickaxes, which have both advantages and disadvantages to normal hands, but in my opinion are generally harder. This may seem like an unreasonable step up, but it isn't even the half of it. The Great Bullwark is actually the game's final tutorial, because the true final mountain of Peaks of Yore is a gobsmacking 7,500 meters. That's 15 times taller than the mountain I thought was as tough as it gets. I can't put both mountains in one video because I'm not done the Solemn Tempest after about 20 hours of attempts. This video is all the Great Bullwark, which stands as the final gate before you can attempt the Solemn Tempest. Straight off Ymir's Shadow, I wasn't even ready to attempt the Bullwark yet because throughout playing the game, I'd never really bothered with getting collectibles and never intended on 100%ing the game. Well, these collectibles are pretty handy, giving more ropes, more coffee, more chalk, and general upgrades. Now, having a bit of an idea of what I was getting into, I knew that I'd need most, if not all, the possible upgrades I could get my hands on to pull off the last 2 climbs. Double length ropes?
Here, this is for you.
Now we're ready, I think. So I'm only missing 6. I even went as far as unlocking a pipe that ups your general stats by beating a bunch of time trials on the bouldering levels. Now, I was mostly ready. She's so happy we're back, chat. Look at her. She's had a relatively boring couple weeks. This is it. This is the second last mountain. It's a 2-mountain trip. And now we have pickaxes. And I gotta learn how to use these efficiently. Is this a new update? Yes, actually, but it's not that relevant. This mountain has been here, so it's not part of it, but this is an update of the game. They nerfed some things and did some other stuff that I'm not 100% sure on. We do have like a billion ropes now, so we should rope quite a bit, I think. Ooh, let's go. I don't know how to get here. Like, it's definitely not a mandatory coffee. I feel like I'm missing something in the way that you're supposed to leap with pickaxes. Nice. Hell yeah. Which... Yo, what? How is that not ice? Okay, I had the rope. What do you think the play is here? I think the play is to rope, primarily.
Let's go climbing.
What decides? You just have to do the top of them, I assume? Yeah, okay. I love this crunch. Oh, it's so satisfying. This is what I did in Iceland, chat. It's pretty fun. You know, it's a little scary to be suspended 300 meters in the air, but you get used to it. Yeah, sure. Hey, you know what? I did see ice. And I was with somebody who put a pickaxe in it. So that's close enough. Ice in Iceland? Hey, it's not as icy as Greenland. Maybe this way? I just don't think the swing... Oh, the switch. Not good. It's all over. Save it. Save it. Rope. No.
8 months.
Do I know how claw machines are a scam? Yeah, they don't pick up the item because they have no oomph. Oh, you're making one and it's not any better? So maybe they never intended to scam us and they just suck at making claws. I actually used a claw machine a couple weeks ago and yeah, it was miserable. I can't imagine having anything get picked up by that claw. Is it randomized? That's some claw machine lore I didn't know existed. Huh? Didn't I use that one before? Do these have limited durability? I thought it was just the bottoms didn't work. Monk-ass, bro. How much ice is in Iceland? Not a lot. In fact, we got there and it was nighttime. And we had to drive 45 minutes from the international airport to Reykjavik, which is where we were staying. And the first thing I noticed was like how much, it was dark, so we couldn't see into the distance, but how much just, it looked like Saskatchewan. It was flat, snowy, and that's about it. Like lightly snowy. Like you could tell that it was only a couple degrees under zero. Now, as it turns out, Iceland has a lot more mountains than Saskatchewan, namely as well some glaciers. That's a big difference. We had a guide for some ice caves that you like couldn't access with your own car. And she had a pickaxe and she smacked the glacier ice and said, "You want to taste it?" And I said, "Hell yeah, give me that ice." It was good. It was like ice, but purer. Hey, is packed ice glacier ice like in Minecraft? Because I was thinking to myself, I didn't want to say it because that would make me seem like a bit of a loser to the guide, I think. But yeah, okay, so I've eaten packed ice then. So I had somebody who was giving me like Iceland insider info, and she said that the water is good to drink, and it was. I quite enjoyed their tap water, but man, did the shower water. Oh shit, what do I do? Oh my gosh, this is not safe. It's coming again. Ah! Okay, we gotta go. What the fuck? This is unsafe. Why did you send me here? The climbing association sent me here to die. Like, this guy's too good. We gotta take him off the map. I sent you a helpful vid over Gmail. Watch it. No. If it's about climbing this mountain, I have to figure it out myself. I'm not gonna watch mountainclimbing.exe tutorial. Like, you're dead. You're concussed at the very least.
Did you see any volcanoes or hot springs?
The big hot spring in Iceland, we went for the last 2 days of our trip. And, like, the main road was closed because lava had gone over it. And it was very funny to see how casual that was. Just like, yeah, I'm gonna have to go around until they, like, cut through the lava after it dries. Or whatever. A minor inconvenience in Iceland. Literally Minecraft. Yeah, I know, yeah. They gotta cut through that obsidian. Though I learned that lava, like, it turns into different things. When it dries, depending on how cools, depending on how fast it cools. So for the stuff at like the end of the stream, it turns into like lava glass, which isn't that hard to break through. It takes like 100 years of cooling for lava to turn into like obsidian and stuff. So Minecraft was a little bit off, as it would seem. This is fun. I like this. Oh yeah, I went snorkeling in an area that's between two tectonic plates, and it was cold. I remember seeing that the snorkeling was going to be 2 degrees, and I was like, man, that's not even freezing. Like, I can handle that no problem. And then in my dumbassery, I realized that if it was under 0, it would no longer be water. So that was actually about as cold as water gets. There is no such thing as negative temperature water. They gave us suits and face coverings. The water did, though, get into our gloves and onto our face. So my little fingies were pretty chilly. It was about half an hour in total, and by the end, like it's really hard to get the wetsuit off when it's wet. So they kind of they really gotta tug on your gloves, and wowie, does having your gloves tugged on hurt when your fingies are frozen. They're very chill about it being less than a mile from an active volcano. Well, the capital of Iceland, I don't know actually the numbers, but it's not too far from a series of volcanoes that have been erupting a ton this year. Like, really not that far, like half an hour away driving. So, now mind you, I don't think you can really live anywhere in Iceland without being close to a volcano. But it really is just life. And like, there was this city, village, whatever, that kind of got shreked by the most recent eruptions, and it's like, that's life. Although our tour guide on the one ice caves thing, she lives near at least we have this section. I don't think I'll ever be able to fall further than here. Our tour guide who lives near there, she said they're very stupid people for living there. So I think it's a troubled area. That maybe it's more of a matter of when, not if. Nobody died. It's just, but you get your homes destroyed. I think 200 people lost their homes somewhat recently in Iceland. I was trying to learn a little bit of Icelandic while I was there, and I got caught up for multiple days on this one letter that's in their alphabet. And I was stuck thinking that it was an O with like an X on top, because that's what it looked like to me. And I was just so confused, trying to make it make sense with some of the words. Point is, it's a D. I only realized that when I saw the uppercase D. Yeah. Sola, you got it. That's the one. I had no idea. Well, it's pronounced D, at least. I'm fairly certain. To give you an idea of some of the struggles of trying to say things in Icelandic. The biggest volcano, so like big tourist guy, they just call it E15. Because it starts with an E and has 15 letters. So they just kind of gave up and were like, okay. I love how you just like, ooh. Yeah, somebody put it in chat. I'm not even gonna try. Big. Fjalajokul. My current theory is that if there's something you can't pronounce, people would rather you try and mess up than just not even try, I think. Because at least you get the satisfaction of them being like, haha, this dumbass. Ha ha ha. What is the prediction? Is it if I fall to the bottom? If it is, I think you're in fairly good hands. Maybe. Potentially good hands. Because of that one ice section. I guess the only example I can think of would be like Saskatchewan. And yeah, it's funny to hear people butcher it. I'd rather have them butcher it than just be like, oh, it's too hard. Je ne peux pas. Ah! Oh yeah! Just
thanks so much. Don't let non-believers win.
Okay, well, at least I have the rope. Someone said Sasuke when pronouncing my name. Sask Valley Cat. Hey, in Naruto, is it Sasuke or Sasuke? I'm still gonna say Sauce because I like to call him Mr. Sauce. This is like, that one Mario Party 8 minigame that I hate. Coconut dodging. I hate that minigame. It's so luck-based. I see Mr. Sauce. I see someone say Sasuke. I prefer Sauce because Mr. Sauce is a funny name. He's such a serious guy and it makes him sound so unserious. Oh yeah, good time to let go of the rope. No! Oh, yeah, I probably could have been jumping this whole time, huh? Mr. Sauce sounds like a name I'd give a cat. The balls shouldn't spawn if I'm this far up. It would look weird. So, believe it or not, I gave up peeing in swimming pools a long time ago. But I am well aware that there are grown-ass men my age that still pee in swimming pools. Now, when I went snorkeling, I'd just like to make it clear that I had no intention of peeing in my suit. However... Oh, shit! the whatever swim guide was like, just so you know, it's called a wetsuit, but it keeps you dry inside. So if you try to pee in your wetsuit, you're just gonna like piss your pants that you have on underneath the wetsuit. And that didn't even occur to me. Like, I'm not a swimming pool pisser. I'm not. But if I was, and I didn't get that warning, I may very well have spissed my wetsuit. I don't know. Son of a dick. I don't know why it never occurred to me. It's not like swimming trunks, you know? The story went better than I thought it would? Yeah, I know. Yeah. The fall cut me off and let your imaginations run wild. I think this is like an all of Europe thing. But holy crap, does Iceland love their Rundaboots. I've never had to drive so many Rundaboots in my entire life. It's just Rundaboot after Rundaboot. Like, going from point A to point B is like a 12 Rundaboot process. Like, Paige kind of made a game of counting how many Rundaboots we'd have on our trip. Doing whatever we were doing that day. Thank God there were no Rundaboots bigger than 2 lanes. I have absolutely zero concept of how you'd even manage that. The nice thing with the 2-lane Rundaboots even as well is like, even though it's 2 lanes, the exits were also 2 lanes. So it's not like you were stuck going in circles if you were on the inner lane, you could exit. Otherwise, I have no idea how you get out. Like, do you lane change in the Rundaboot? Actually, like 2 to Reykjavik and 1 to... Do 2 to Reykjavik? I will bring out the map right now between Keflavik Airport and Reykjavik. I will absolutely fact check you on that. It is not 2 Rundaboots. And some people, like, they enter the Rundaboot and they just rip around. Sorry, Luff. Whereas I definitely took my time. So, you know, people wouldn't be tailgating me on the road normally because I drove like a regular human being. But they did get to tailgate position on Rundaboots. I did probably give off some pretty strong foreigner vibes on the Rundaboots.
Just have to see how TTS pronounces this. Rundaboot.
There we go. TTS has got that Canadian in it. It also had this interesting traffic system, which I was actually a fan of. No, it's specific to roundabouts that I'm saying ruined. I just think it's a better word. Roundabout, dry. Flavorless. Unexpressive. Rundaboot, exciting. Culturally significant in Canada. Fun. There are exactly 158 Rundaboots in Iceland. I believe it. Oh, this is one of those. Now, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, the lights thing. So instead of going from red to green, it goes red, and then red and yellow, and then green. So you get like a warm-up to know when the light's gonna be green, which is sick. Because sometimes what I end up doing here is I'll watch the opposite ways lights, because then I know that as their light goes yellow and then red, that mine will turn green soon. But in Iceland, it just says when your light's gonna turn green. It's cool. It's standard in Europe, yeah. I didn't mind it at all. Question, I actually didn't learn this throughout the whole trip and just didn't test it. Can you turn right on a red light in Europe/Iceland? Okay, you can't. Okay, I didn't think so, because I was watching other people and you couldn't. Okay. Wow, you're very, very, very passionate. Okay, yeah, because here it's like red light, you're supposed to stop, But nobody's even gonna bat an eye if you just turn right at a red light. It's really no issue at all. You can't in Quebec. No way. Left on red, obviously not, because there's incoming traffic. But yeah, especially when it's a 2-lane road, you can absolutely turn right on a red light here. Yeah, and I'm saying Iceland because driving on the right side of the road. Obviously, you can't do that if you're driving on the left side of the road. I probably wouldn't have rented a car if we were going somewhere that has to drive on the left side of the road. I would just accidentally, you know, if you've been in stream, you know that I get distracted and just, it's not even a me thing, it's an everyone thing, but I would definitely end up driving on the right side of the road absent-mindedly, accidentally. How much rope do I have? I don't know. How much rope do I have? I didn't see that one. 16? Okay, thank you. Oh, hey, speaking of not having rope, I don't have stamina. Is that a happy rock? I think it is. Nope. Well, we are falling.
What was your favorite meal? Plink.
We went to a restaurant called Tides in Reykjavik. It was the most expensive of the trip, but it was my favorite. Besides that, cheaper places. There's a pub called, like, the something bastard. It was pretty sweet. No, I didn't try reindeer. Oh my gosh, I almost okay, hold on. No. This is bad, chat. This is bad. I keep passing out. Give me that. No. At least we have the ropes, chat. At least we have the ropes. We went to the world's biggest penis museum, the pride of the capital of Iceland. But yeah, the origin story of this museum was the craziest thing. I don't remember it word for word, but it was something like, when I was 11, I got my first whale penis. Some local fisherman gave it to me as a joke. And, like, I made it into a walking cane or something. It was like, as I got older, my fascination with penises grew. They didn't use penis, though. They used phallo something? the scientific name for penises, I guess? Phallological museum or something? Phallus? Yeah, phallus. But the museum was phallo something. And like, it's a family-owned museum. Like, he's passed the penises on to his kids. Imagine inheriting a penis museum from your dad. W inheritance? Yeah, I mean, it'd be sweet, but it would certainly be strange. Pickaxes don't get much air. Again, I'm sure there's tricks for that, but this is Sploff versus Mountain. Imagine your dad tragically dying and discovering that you... Well, I'm sure it wasn't a surprise. I'm sure he didn't, like, drop it on them at his deathbed. It's a secret I've been holding from you for years. I actually have the world's largest penis collection. But yeah, it was from animals all around the world. From mice to men to whales to elephants. And if you, like, dry them and stuff, like, yeah, there were some that were, like, walking canes. Which is something. All right. I'll show you some pics. I'm sure they'll be okay with TOS. They're not still on the animal, so they're a little less bad looking than it might sound. Can you compare them? I need a size scale. I didn't take pictures of that many. So I won't be able to show you that much variety. For the most part, I just enjoyed. Well, the best picture, and one of my favorite pictures from the trip, is Paige beside a sperm whale penis. Because it's bigger than her. That is, without a doubt, one of the best pictures I got the whole trip. Shit is huge. Yeah. And I sent it to my friends, and I said, Paige beside the world's biggest penis. Aside from Marcus's. Somebody asked about a happy rock earlier. This is a happy rock. It's a rock that I can hold on to forever with no repercussions. Unless a boulder falls on me, I guess. Look down and hold W to latch yourself and regain stamina. Please! I do actually know about that. I just don't need it, you know? So somebody asked if it was the world's biggest penis collection or world's biggest penis. It's the collection. But I believe, if I read it right, the current known record for world's biggest human wang, he's still alive, but I think he's promised his package to the museum once he perishes. I believe that's what it said. How big is it? Dude, they just had a picture of him straight up with his willy out. It was big. It was, you know, it was, you know, is that your third arm, or are you just excited to see me size? Third leg. Yeah, third leg. Yeah. It wasn't as big as his leg. I don't know how big it is, Chad. I don't remember the measurements. Okay, I just know it's big. Check it out. Look at that thing.
11 months.
Isn't that wild? That's a big one. Another interesting fact about the museum is, like, we didn't go to Iceland and it was on our list of things that we were planning to do. I didn't know it existed at the start of our trip. As we are getting to our first flight, we, like, go to the desk to the lady to get our boarding passes, and she's like, "Oh, goody, where are you guys going?" And she's not an old lady, but she's probably like 40, if I'm guessing. And we're like, "Oh, we're going to Iceland." And she's like, "Oh, Iceland! You gotta check out the penis museum." Like, a friend of mine told me that there was this incredible museum in Iceland. So that's how we learned about it in the first place. I love this lady's confidence. Just two total strangers sharing her excitement about the world's largest phallological conversation. Or world's largest phallological museum. And, like, they had a merch store. I got my one friend... Sorry, it's just... we're jumping from... Sorry. It just keeps... There's more to say. I bought my one friend... you know those glasses that are, like, glasses with a mustache? It's glasses, but instead of a mustache, there's just a dick. So that's what she's getting from me. I didn't tell her what it is, but I did tell her that I got her something from the museum. The most expensive thing we were gonna do was this helicopter ride that would go over the recently erupted volcano. But it never happened, and we got a refund. So it's sad, but it's okay. Yes, a helicopter ride. What do you mean a helicopter ride in quotation marks? What else would it be?
Spiff is a trial mod. Am I allowed out of the dungeon?
There is no dungeon. Connor says otherwise? Well, hold on, there's a dungeon for Connor.
I'm chained there right in.
There's no dungeon for the mods. There. Wherever you are, I hope you're happy. I looked down, and I got my stamina back. And I cramped. I crumpled, and I cramped. No, Loaf got pet. No. Paige's sister was coming in for a couple weeks, and then my dad, who's a huge Loaf fan, took care of her for the last week. Oh my gosh, dude. You're kidding me. Dude. Back to here. Ah. I need to rope there, I think. Point is, I bet Loaf got a ton of pets while my dad was taking care of her. You should have that story on text-to-speech at your wedding. Hey, Julian is my best man, so he's got a whole repertoire of embarrassing stories to pick from. Yeah, we have the wedding plan. Dude, if we didn't have the wedding plan, we wouldn't be having a wedding in 5 months. Bro's wearing like a, I don't know, juggernaut suit. to survive that. Oh my gosh! That one had some oomph to it. Hey, let's... Not the double hit. Stop! I was getting bullied, yeah. Alright, we have to ditch the rope. We are gonna place another one. And I don't think this is that much higher. So I may start to rope like I have infinite ropes pretty soon-ish. It's probably gonna max me out. While hanging from a solid grip, if you press 5, you can see the height. Oh. Oh, and does this point towards a collectible? I don't know if there's a collectible here. This mountain is how high?
What was the weirdest experience in Iceland?
At the Blue Lagoon, which is like the prized tourist attraction. It's like a spa with natural water. When the water comes up and cools, it creates this like mud, this like white mud. And the white mud's got a bunch of healing stuff associated with it. So I don't know quite how they get them, but they make them into masks, like the cream that you put on your face and you let it dry there. And I'm sure many of you have done masks, but they make the natural stuff. Yeah, silica, yeah. They make it into masks. And so everyone around the spa is wearing these things. And then they just wash it off in the water. Now, the water itself has a ton of this mud that's just naturally occurring in it. But at the same time, you can't help but think about the fact that you are swimming in everyone's washed off masks. And it's said that every 48 hours, the water is fully cycled through. But what about the mud? You know, surely that builds up and sits at the bottom, right? They must have some sort of protocol of cleaning out the mud, but I really couldn't help but think while I wait around this mud and pick it up and play around with it, like, am I just playing with people's face goop? And like, sometimes there would be hairs in it. And me and Paige were just exploring the whole area, and we found this like area where the water leaves, so that's where it cycles out. And there were a lot of hairs in that section. I'm not one to get grossed out by much, but I left that section very quickly. So the nice thing was, like, we spent 2 nights in not the Blue Lagoon hotel, but the Silica hotel. So it's like 5 minutes away. And the nice thing about there is they have their own like mini lagoon, and like nobody's there. It's a lot smaller, but it's fairly private. So I didn't really feel like I was swimming in other people's filth while we were in there. But the one day that we actually went to the proper Blue Lagoon hot springs felt kind of grody. But yeah, overall it was very nice. But you asked what the weirdest thing was in Iceland. Probably swimming in people's mud. On to a pleasant story. When I was a kid, my computer desktop background was like this black sand beach, and I didn't even think it was real. Like, I thought it was just like edited. And I was like, wow, what a cool thing. And when I learned that it is real, and it is in fact in Iceland, I was very excited. It was like a childhood dream to visit a black sand beach that I otherwise didn't realize it existed. So that was the most like personally rewarding part of the trip, was seeing that thing that as a kid I didn't think existed.
Ah yes, 9 months of the Spigatron. Have fun with whatever you are doing, and I hope you have a great time with it. LMAO.
Wait a second. What do you mean I can't put a rope down? Odd. I don't think I'm gonna top out yet. Oh. I was wrong. Thank God ropes exist? Yes, you're right. But in that case, the rope actually held me back. What do you think of Toronto? It is probably my least favorite place in Canada. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Hydration hour 2. Drink something and stay healthy, peeps.
It has readjusted. As someone who lives in Toronto, it sucks. It's just like where I live, it isn't that big. And
Here
Toronto
we
is
are.
big,
Piece of Yore.
and everyone I interacted with was angry and impatient. Mind you, I was only at an airport, but it was the least pleasant airport. In Toronto, actually, we were trying to take a shuttle because we had to spend the night at a hotel between our flights. And we tried to take a shuttle from the airport to our hotel, which was a kilometer away. We could have walked it, but we elected to take the shuttle. And we ended up waiting so long, like 45 minutes for the shuttle that's taking us a kilometer. But in the meantime, Ubers were fighting with other hotels' shuttles for parking space. Like this Uber came, parked in a hotel shuttle spot, and just, I guess their passenger didn't show up, so they were just taking forever. And the shuttles did not take it. They went behind the Uber and just started like spam honking. The Uber didn't move, and so the bus went beside the Uber. And then when the Uber tried to leave, finally the bus cut it off and was just like holding it hostage while people are trying to get shuttled to their hotel. These guys are having like a little battle. And then finally the shuttle moves away and the Uber speeds after it and like holds down the horn while tailgating the shit out of the shuttle. Obviously we didn't see what happened next, but if the shuttle brake checked it, like they would have had an accident. That was my welcome to Toronto. The hotel was fine. And like obviously it was the fault of the Uber, but it must happen a lot because those guys were absolutely not fucking having it. Okay, oh my gosh. We're getting there. Oh, there's another rope. There's another rock there. I'm still fairly loose on my rope, so I think I could... Cool. Now to there. Okay. Nice. Really? Why? This rope is so close. Why are you booing me? Don't boo me. No, I'm not worried about Help Wanted 2 as much as Help Wanted 1 for the marathon. It's a much easier game. Rune and Help Wanted 2 are really easy. Kind of looks like Steel Wool had enough of people complaining about endos, and we're like, we are never going to make a challenging section. That one crafts one that's like in the dark and you got to use the flashlight, I think is the hardest, and it does shiver my timbers for sure. But besides that, like there are multiple hard mini games in Help Wanted 1. It's so windy up here and I'm scared. I know I'm not roped. It's just this kind of sucks as a rope spot because there's so much space between the holds that we're gonna lose rope. Like we're gonna hit the end of our rope pretty fast, which almost makes it not a valuable rope. I am left-handed, yeah. One nice thing about Help Wanted 2, I'm not 100% sure which mini games, but we don't have to do all of them.
What was your experience with Don't Starve?
I only ever played solo. Like I've known about the game since its earliest form, played it a bit, and then by the time I got it on my own systems, Reign of Giants was out. So that's what I spent the most time on, was Reign of Giants. Then I spent a ton of time on Shipwrecked. Shipwrecked, I think, is my favorite DLC ever in the game. Whew. And then I played Hamlet. Hamlet was a ton of fun. And that's it for single player content. Sorry, love, you gotta go. I need to focus. Since then, Don't Starve has only done multiplayer content and... Sorry, you do not know where she was. She was like pressing into my hand. I had to. She'll be back. I tried playing Don't Starve together by myself, but boss health is just so goddamn high. DST's a bit hard. Personally, I quite enjoy the high health. Yeah. If I was better at the game, I would too. But I was simply not. Plus, I played it on an old laptop, because this is a long time ago, and my FPS wasn't that good, and like I used a mouse pad often. It's just, I did not set myself up to succeed in DST.
Run from it. You must fulfill your promise and do the 100% FNAF marathon.
That is so long from now. Like, I know FNAF is going to be... mainline FNAF content's going to still be coming out for years. Like, I could see myself doing the 100% marathon when it's done. When FNAF is over. Before then, it is a absolutely insane commitment that I don't really want to do right now. Oh, I almost died. When's the Poppy playtime marathon? A couple people have asked me that. It would take like an hour. Just wouldn't be very exciting. I think I'm gonna read the FNAF books after I finish my current Zombies series. I'm on the last book. Or sorry, I just started the last book. So I finished the second last one on our trip. So depending on how long it takes me to read. If this game had more goofy and less realism, it definitely would have made it into that, like, super popular for no reason streamer rage game category. Was that the last rope? Shit. Maybe it was a mistake treating right ropes. Let's take that one back, shall we? Oh, God. It's too windy up here, chat. My hands are sweating. It's pushing me away from the mountain. These are unsafe climbing conditions. Ooh, that's not a good one. Nice to make that, but boy, was I not confident with it. Yes, now we hope that everything... Hey, there's been no cruxes on this mountain. It's a fun fact. I mean, the whole thing's been a crux, but so far. Imagine. So, I'm definitely almost topped up here on rope length. But, like, I'm not confident at all going for these rocks, so I'm going to try and get to them on my current... Oh, no cruxes, because unconquered. Oh, true. I don't know if I can... I am not confident with that jump at all. Nobody's deemed a section difficult. They've all died trying to get up here. Clutch rope? Well, kind of. I may have gotten that jump if it weren't for the rope. But I don't want to... I think I can just barely... Oh, maybe I can't. I don't want to do this jump without a rope, man. No, I don't think I can. Okay, there's an ice patch underneath it. So if I fall, whip out the pickaxes and grab... Come see. Come stop. Okay. No, Loaf, sorry, you're currently banned from the lap while I finish this mountain. You may return once the mountain has no, Loaf. No. You can't, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. No. No, you don't. Dude, it's so windy at this point. I know Paige is still home. Don't act like you have nobody to hang out with. Okay. Back in Business chat. None of these have been toughy scaries so far. Okay, this one might be a toughy scary. Toughy scary. My favorite part about this is how it's like a warm-up. Now, after this, you climb the real mountain. Oh, there is a rock there. Okay, I couldn't really see it. Don't scare me like that, David. No. Please just make the end easy for my little heart. I don't want to jump. It's a jump to the last rock. I thought I could. Oh my god. How long was that? Like 2.5 hours? Oh, my heart, dude. It really started pounding on that last jump. Yeah, exactly. Tutorial is done. Oh my gosh. Oh, you know what? I know why they do this. It's like, oh my gosh, somebody did conquer it, but then they died at the top. So now I gotta do this one if I really want to call myself the first, you know? Let's put that flag down, Chad. What a funny sound. The Great Bullwark of the North. 7,418 feet. So apparently this one is 3 times the height. That's quite something. Yeah, 3 times the height apparently, yeah. Quite insane. So this is just the start? Yeah, it was, yeah. Dude, I gotta recover. I'm a little shaken. Let's get our stamp. Unconquered, except for that dead guy. Okay, let's go to it, and then I'm gonna take a couple minutes to go to the washroom, because if I have to pee in the middle of this mountain, it's gonna be bad news. We can't even see the top, like the sun's blocking it. Now we are truly, honestly at the final mountain, where falls aren't measured in meters, but instead in kilometers, miles even. The tutorials are all complete. Time to finish them off. It has been and will be quite the journey.